to kill his loneliness by writing a book. He couldn't make documentary, seems more social, but instead he chose one of the lonely professions, involving endless days of solitude confinement in a room with a keyboard and self-doubt, to try to reconnect with friends. Still, Vic managed to pull it off, mostly. When not typing his desk alone, he speaks to psychologists. Those are mere bonding traits, and tries to embrace his vulnerable side. The result is we need to hang out. An entertainment of social science, memoir, and humor. His Daniel Goleman book reflected the lens of the real hero. Baker, a middle-aged dad, a Boston global writer, starts with the thesis that within the midst of the loneliness crisis, even before COVID, in the 21st century, he writes, loneliness has become an epidemic. He cites 2019, 1/6 are officially lonely, according to gold standard used as a loneliness scale. As the political scientist and sociologist Robert Hutton 20 years ago, we are increasingly falling alone. This is not a trivial problem. Loneliness kills, Vic writes. It's a public health threat linked to shorter life, heart disease, obesity, and Alzheimer's. Relaxing with Pills by Liu Bobo. There's a big part of that doesn't like pills. We want all of the simplicity and feeling like we're on top of things and doing things the right way. And so when things are chaotic, we stumble for some kind of stability. When someone is upset with us, we might learn feeling of being judged and uncertain about how people see us. And so might lash out to them or spin around the story for days. How terrible that is. When plans don't go how we hoped to, we feel like we're on steady ground. We start criticizing ourselves, the feeling like we're doing things wrong and things out of control, and the migraine flooding drives us. Do you relate to any of these examples? In fact, the uncertainty of a chaotic life is perhaps the main cause of anxiety, stress, frustration, self-doubt, fears, procrastination, distraction, and more. We know when we're feeling this chaos, we are reaching for new tools, systems, methods, tactics, plans, experts, book on topic, or our thoughts. There's nothing wrong with any of these things, it's just how we normally respond to chaos. But if we could relax in the middle of that chaos, it would do so much for us. We will be okay with just feeling overwhelmed and no need to panic or feel bad. We simply take the next step. We could focus on one thing at a time and much, much more. The training is to learn to relax with the chaos, and from that place to decide on the next simple step. Paradoxical Commitment of Leadership by Kent and King. People are illogical and unreasonable and self-centered. Love the manager. If you do good, people kill you of selfish or ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you're successful, you're enforcement and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness make you invulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. The biggest men with the biggest ideas can be shut down by the smallest man with the smallest mind. Think big anyway. People favor underdogs, but follow only top dogs. Fight for huge dogs anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People really need help, but may attack you if you do help them. Help people anyway. Give the world the best you have and you're kicking the teeth. Give the world the best you have anyway. self-compassion or self-esteem lead to success. Talking about being kind to yourself may sound like nursery classroom, but even cynics that care about self-compassion, especially if they want to be resilient, by David Robinson. Last time you failed or the mistake, you still blessed with the game and thought yourself as being so stupid and selfish. You tend to feel alone in that video is that you're the only person to ever err. Or do you accept that error is a part of being human? A culture that with care and tenderness. For many people, the most harshly judgmental responses are the most natural. Indeed, we may even take pride in being hard on ourselves and sound ambition and resolution possible self. But the wealth of research shows that self-criticism backfires badly. Besides happiness and stress level, it increases procrastination, makes us even less able to achieve our goals. Instead of chastising ourselves, we should practice self-compassion, greater forgiveness, mistakes, and deliberate effort to take care of ourselves. Overcome embarrassment. Most of us have a good friend in our lives who kind of unconditionally supportive, inspirational, associate professor education psychology, University of Texas and Austin, the pioneer research. Self-compassion is learning to be that same warm, supportive friend to yourself. Driven by curiosity by Steve Catalina. People often ask me what drives me or any motivation for taking action. I think that one of the biggest drivers is curiosity. Love to learn and find it also valuable to learn hands-on direct experience. In my early years of own development, I did a combination of reading books and doing experiments on my own. I must always found direct experiment teacher to be invested. Books are mostly good for stimulating further experimentation. It was there that I found good ideas from books that put up a lot of essays. Most ideas I pick up from books are misaligned. It often let me stray for work. Anonymous or trusting other authors too much, getting too much credibility. I mistreated confidence as a reason to assume that ideas were flawless. Many of the best advancement and the cherished experience started with a spark of curiosity. Then I added a fear to that spark by investing in exploration. I went to vision 24 years ago because of curiosity. I meet New York this year because of curiosity. I became an entrepreneur because I was curious about it. I moved to Las Vegas because of curiosity. Review of Rear Window about the hero is out to judge. Rear Window is trapped in a wheelchair. Real Trap 2. Trapping point of view. Inside lacks freedom and limited options. When he passes the long days and nights by shamelessly maintaining a secret watch on his neighbors, we share of this object. It's wrong, we know, despite on nothing. After all, on these awful years we go to the movies. Here's a film on man who does on the screen what we do in the audience. Look through a lens at the private lives of strangers. The man is Victoria named L.B. Jeffries. Jack is fiancé, played by James Reed, managed and laid up with a broken leg in a cabin that runs all the way of his head. He never leaves the apartment and there are only two regular visitors. One is visiting nurse Stella, American, who predicts trouble. The New York State Senate for keeping Thomas 6 months in the workhouse. The other is the fiancé, Lisa Freeman, Grace Kelly, Alice Morgan Jessica Alden, who despite ever getting committed self. He would rather look at the lives of the living side of their own skin. Stella lectured us. What people ought to do is get out their own house of the looking for change. The therapeutic value of reading. Books can help calm and transport from pandemic stress. but many of the fun is hard to read now. Here's how and why to get back to it by Elizabeth Dixon. This past year, I found myself returning again and again to love poetry Emily Dickinson. There was no phrase like book. Like many people, I've needed a therapeutic effect more than ever this year. As neuroscientist since psychologist and a high school English teacher, I tell you, books are good for real. The benefits are particularly vital now. Books expand our world, providing escape and offering novelty, surprise, and excitement. It boosts dopamine, perspective, and help us empathize with others. And through our social life, giving us something to connect over. Books can also distract us and help reduce mental time. When we hit that glorious philosophical rating according to the book, our brains they form more network likely comes from the just with psychiatric research from universities medical research. That's a network brain actually when you're not doing anything else, but get observed and avoiding elimination. Does it help to be desperate by Doris Doris? I always felt it best to never be desperate. Confidence comes from knowing you have many options. But reading the autobiography of Rachel Branson, the founder of Virgin, it was clear, entirely clear, it was driven by self-created desperation. He was always 3% into giving him a large loan to take on an ambitious new venture. Then this sleeping death past the final hour, always the brink of a repossessed. You guys will die the desperation to take an even more ambitious gamble, somehow coming out ahead. Just enough to pay off the loan, then do it again, something even more ambitious. Here's some example, only 21 running Virgin record and tapes. Record shop, Notting Hill. Rockstars Media was a big concert for and country. Their band had common staple weekend time record whenever they feel like. So he drove on the countryside, looking at it from the 15-bedroom manor, but amounted a long time. And it was a great deal for £30,000. Had no money himself, but borrowed a little from his friend. Then through the best business, I got along, attending the successful recording big videos. So here I'm reading this, impressed but confused. I'm frugal, I'm a avoidant. I save more income. I never spend more than I earn. If I'm conscious, is just around the clock. Have to be desperate to that job's new heights necessity. On the other hand, can we all think smart people do dumb things with desperate by sending ideas of stealing? So what's the difference? I don't know the answer. Do you have ideas? My dear, thanks for the comment. Let's share a collective answer to this tomorrow. ADA by Louis May Alcott. Like Bunyan's pilgrim with this path forth went the dreaming youth to seek to find the nature's own wisdom, virtue, and truth. Life was good and patient. He studied each page by turning to reformer, outcast, grace, philosopher, and sage. Christ towards master and human, his life for gospel's way, like old Savior and sacrament. The noblest in those friends, beautiful fun, doctrine, eager to listen, learn and hate, to love and honor duty. Power and praise, silver and gold, to neither ask no thought, only to serve his fellow men with heart and word and thought. Pilgrims, in fact, no sins spread nor pride, but wisdom, morals, piety, to teach, to warn and bless. The world passed by, no character to take, the treasure he could give. A party sad, content to wait, and beautiful to live. Unsaddened by long, lonely years of want, neglect, and wrong. He saw the him my kingdom was steadfast, serving, and strong. Magnanimous and pure his heart, temperate his happy end, patience and peace that unmixed word, death and mortal threat. For him no monuments need rise, no law make it poor, the memory of the golden vine, not shine or the lake the more. After 95 years, writers finally get a green light to lift from the great Gatsby. Thus, the prevalent artists were borrowing from classic works, even decades after the original chilled radical power. By Allen was speaking. The Daisy Evelyn Count. What had to make after he retreated from New York? How did the Gatsby muscle into the roaring country's underworld to make a little fortune? Was it just maybe a vampire? At the stroke of midnight on January 1st, the writer and the other artists a green light to imagine their own answer to those questions. The used character created by Edward Gerard in his 1925 novel Great Gatsby without asking for any permission. Unpure and avalanche of Gatsby knockouts, crickets, and the year's retaking empires hit the market, along with the new edition of original jazz age novel itself. But its welcome as an auto-contemporary is also a reminder that 95-year waiting period in fact cost on American culture. With 50 U.S. copies of the lost locked the Great Gatsby out of private domain for so long, the best moment of the reworking phenomenon already come and go. Beloved classics of course, and some of its themes, social and classical visions, lost love, upon it. The nearly a century after publication is also an artifact of the fleeting time that's into many readers who right now is a mostly historical costume drama, of course, that Seedles. Savor with the dread and avoid by Liverbat. Today, my sons and I were standing at the edge of the pool on a cold day, knowing that the water we were about to jump into was freezing. It was day 27 of my first 40-day discomfort challenge, and we were dreading the cold water. We knew shockingly cold, but because we jumped into it for past 26 days, we really didn't want to do it, but we were committed to do this. And then I invited myself to a mind-self shift. Can I bring curiosity to this moment? This moment I've already judged this bath. This experience I've already put into a fixed box of help no. Could I instead let go of my fixed ideas and just bring curiosity? What is this moment like when I drop my judgments, fixed of you, fixed notions? It becomes much more open, much more filled with the possibility. From this place of possibility, I wonder if there's something to savor right now. Is there anything I can enjoy, appreciate, find sacred and beautiful? I found a lot of sacred, the chilly air, the intensely blue sky and the low-lying soft cloud, the quiet neighborhood with the planes flying overhead and the birds calling up to us. I savor this moment of chatting with my thoughts. This state feeling alive, unable to meaningful work with others. The state having loved ones here and scattered elsewhere who I care deeply about. I found a lot of it. Suddenly, this became a moment of freedom and life. I jumped in and found the divine. A Sensible Purpose Prize by Warren Buffett. The Ford building that add value to Berkshire. 1. Sizable standalone acquisitions. 2. Bolt-on acquisitions that fit with the business we already own. 3. Internal margin improvement at our many very businesses. And 4. Investment from portfolio. In this section, we will review 2017 acquisition activity. In our search for new standalone businesses, the key qualities we seek Our durable competitors able at high-grade management, good returns on the net income, which are operating the business, opportunities for internal growth, and finally, a sensible purchase price. That last requirement grew the barrier to virtually all deals we reviewed in 2017, as prices for decent but far spectacular businesses all-time high. Indeed, price seemed almost irrelevant to the army of the purchasers. Why the frenzy? In part, it's because the CEO job self-evident for can-do types. If Oscar or board members urge that brought the CEO to consider possible acquisitions, it's a bit like writing teenager to the normal sex life. Once a CEO hunger for deal, it will shoot now broadcast that justified purchase. Supporters will be cheering, in which large domains and compensation level typically increase the corporate size. Investment backers smelling huge fees will be threatened as well. They ask the father with unique capital. If the historical couple target for short evaluate acquisition, large synergies will be forecast. But never disappoint. The pandemic gave me the time to finally clean up my shameful habit. Here's what I learned by Jerry Conscious. I was determined not to be one of those people who didn't accomplish anything during the pandemic. So I got rid of 44 boxes of stuff. Like losing weight, it was hard work, but did it slowly and mindfully. It feels really great to have that tower of boxes gone. It offers moments pure joy at last during a really lousy time. I frequently read articles about decluttering, Marie Kondo, sweetest desk cleaning, and professional organizers. A cheerleader for stuff, so I even started something called Declutter Sunday on Facebook, where friends post their items reject find overstuffed attic being my dirty little secret. I'm not a slob. My little 1937 colonial house is organized and neat, but the closet too small. Over the decades, masses of the stuff came to the house, but very little left. I entered the attic, which became the dumping ground for all the excess. Stuff home and much like everyone else hatched the plan. My husband, who is very sentimental and fond of keeping things, agreed that we need to take action. Initially suggested renting a pod and getting movers everything item done so we can then go through it at leisure. Each Saturday for 22 without renting the attic, organizing, and ended up with the 2 boxes of bags we shoved down to the gas truck. We then have the 1 week to either throw items or find a new home. Nothing would go back in the attic. Each member of the family was allotted 1 large Rubbermaid tub labeled archives with put anything for the party. No judgment. Signs of Weak Capture System by Steve Pavlina. A common side is that you have a weak or underutilized system for capturing or organizing your tasks or projects, is that you're trying to use some non-system as a substitute. This includes bad habits such as this: leaving emails sitting in a box after you read them the first time, using any messaging app to remember some to-do items, using multiple apps to capture tasks, not being sure which inbox to send their tasks to, worrying about tasks falling through the cracks, relying on your human memory to keep reminding yourself of a task you need to attend to. A Go system has at most 2 inboxes, 1 digital inbox and 1 paper inbox. A Go system has 1 calendar for keeping track of your time-based commitments. You can also set to proactively remind your appointment when necessary, so you don't have to rely on your memory or constantly looking at the clock for that. Your email inbox isn't a calendar or project management system, nor is your web browser. A good system doesn't show you reminders of your to-dos, except when you need to see them. It doesn't distract you by showing you the same unprocessed emails every time you check your inbox. Not having a good capture system is a problem worth solving. Consider that if you don't solve it soon, you're punting the problem to the future, cursing your future self. More distraction and greater focus year after year. They absolutely drag down the results you are able to create and the quality of life you are able to enjoy. You can solve this problem permanently. You can live in the past so that it never plague you again.